just left the Loft Mountain campground where I camped with Hannah and white blaze. Sorry, I just want to make sure. I have to look for a blaze. There was a fork with no post. So I'm going to walk this about 50 yards. If I don't see a white blaze, I'll turn around. In any case, yeah, so Hannah and I, she's just section hiking the Shenandoahs, so she's only on day 3 of her hike. And so she's on the slow side. So she's walking at about my pace. That won't last long because she's, I don't know, 20-something, and with that comes strength and agility and lung power and all that fun stuff. So I expect to hike with her a day or two, and then she'll probably move on, but that's okay. She's a little ahead of me now because I stopped for water and she kept going, but we have a plan to stop at the next hut for a little break. Her shoulder is bothering her, and with my foot caution, we agreed that we'll take several breaks today. We're going to try to do 12 miles, 12 point something, and that should be doable as long as we walk at a reasonable pace, meaning not rush, and take several short breaks and at least 2 long ones. So that's what we've agreed. So her shoulder, she can stretch it out and so forth, and I can elevate my foot, maybe find a spring or something, or put my water filter on it, which is cold, and just take care of business and get to camp at around 7 tonight. It's light until almost 9, so that's fine. So we have a plan, and she's ahead of me, but she'll stop at the next hut. She'll probably get there 10 minutes before me. It's not like she's running, so we should be good. She's really nice, and I'm still trying to catch an herb. Trying to catch her. Can't wait to introduce her to you. There she is ahead of me. So she hasn't gotten too far. Just a few steps ahead. I don't want to get used to it though. She'll be outpacing me. There she is. It's a beautiful day. It's on the hot side. It's definitely not as cool as it has been the last few days. Last night was chilly but not cold. The night before I was cold. Last night was comfortable, but I definitely kept my quilt up over my nose. This morning is warmer, but not as humid as it was a few days ago. It's about a half hour since I last talked to the camera, and I just passed Hannah. Yay! I never pass anybody, but only because she stepped into the woods to use the facilities. I wanted to give you an update on my foot. Today it doesn't hurt. So I don't understand this. So my plan is to take it easy, walk at a casual pace, without crawling. Stop when before my foot starts to hurt. So I feel a little fatigue, I stop, I sit, I elevate, do whatever I need to do. The shin splints that were starting don't seem as bad, but it's still early. I've only been out an hour or so. I massaged them out and kept them elevated as soon as I got to camp last night. Took ibuprofen this morning, which helps with any discomfort, but I don't want to mask any pain because I want to be aware if there's something wrong. So I just took 400 milligrams, but I'll keep tabs on how my body feels. As far as quitting, no, that's not an option, at least not now. My foot hurts at the end of the day and doesn't hurt in the morning. So it's very strange. It does seem tender to the touch. So I will be careful. I'm not going to create a permanent, debilitating injury for the sake of a through hike. So on that note, as far as a through hike, for me to complete 2,200 miles, considering my limitations and considering the time that's already passed, the time I've had to take off to recover, and all those various things, it would take a miracle, a lot of hard work and determination for me to complete all 2,200 miles. You may notice by now I am willing to do the work and I do have determination, but I still have limitations, and there is the calendar year to consider. my arm is sore from holding the camera, so I'm gonna switch hands. No blocking the view. So I do have to consider the calendar. Baxter State Park in Maine, which is where Mount Katahdin is, closes in mid-October. I have to get through the White Mountains and Maine to Katahdin before the weather turns too bad. And if anyone's ever hiked in the White Mountains, even in late August it can start to get cold. September can be outright freezing sometimes. So, and considering the fact that I'm not an athlete, I'm thinking that I should probably, and actually based on the advice of my trail sensei, Footloose, I should flip up there earlier than I anticipated. So I think the two things that are going to happen. One is I will be happy with any miles that I do. If I can do half of the trail, I'll be impressed with myself. I'll be satisfied. 1,100 miles on the Appalachian Trail is nothing to sneeze at, and I will have earned every darn mile of that. So I'm wrapping my brain around that and trying to come to terms with that and make that a new goal. Having said that, I still have the goal of the entire thing. It is doable, but it's going to be an enormous undertaking, more so than just when I started out back in April. So for now, my goal is to do the through hike, 2,200 miles, but my first goal is the 1,100. Just get halfway and see how things go. But I'll have to do that in a topsy-turvy flip-flop within a flip-flop kind of manner. So I'll finish the Shenandoahs. It's only July something now. 9th or 8th? 8th or 9th? I'm not sure. I'll finish the Shenandoahs, probably get up to Harper's Ferry. I don't know what date that will bring me at, but maybe just continue hiking north until, you know, Harper's Ferry or August 1st or something like that. I'll have to think that through. And then flip up to Massachusetts or New Hampshire and just head north, get through the White Mountains, summit Katahdin, and then flip back to wherever I started, you know, in whether it's Massachusetts or New Hampshire. You know, so just go back to that point and hike south to Harper's Ferry, or the point I got off at the beginning of August. And then, so cover those miles, and then flip back to Waynesboro, which is where the very beginning of the Shenandoahs, and walk all the way back to Hot Springs for the through hike. All right, so that would be all 2,200 miles. I'll have to draw this out so it'll make sense to you. For now, I'm gonna put the camera away and hike. I forgot to mention another thing that's going on with my foot. So I'm telling you, this poor right leg and right foot, I'm just putting it through the ringer. And it's just par for the course with me, because why not, right? So not only does the place that had the fracture is fatigued and achy by the end of the day, and you know, it hurts, I'm not gonna lie, you know, at the end of the day. So I've got that to watch for and be wary of and be uncomfortable. And then, as I mentioned, I had shin splint starting. Both legs, but mostly in the right leg. Whether that's from favoring it or just walking weird because I'm so nervous about my, you know, the fractured area, or just plain and simply that the muscles are weakened because they've been trapped in the air boot and not working. So probably a combination of all those things. But regardless, I got the shin splint there. It's minor. I've been taking care of it right away. But still, that's uncomfortable for sure. And then this morning, I felt like I was walking on a piece of glass right on the bottom of my right foot, which is that foot. I have a cut, so dry skin. So here's something I didn't mention. It's kind of yucky, but whatever. Last week, when I took the air cast off, I could only take it off to shower, but other than that, you know, 10-15 minutes of hygiene, it was pretty much in a sock and in the boot all the time. So I ended up with athlete's foot, which, if you've ever had it, is not fun. So dry, itchy, cracked, burning skin. So I tended to that right away with, you know, medicated sprays and powders and anti-fungus cream and all that. It was a lot of fun, but I took care of that all week, and that's under control, and that's pretty much gone, except that it had gotten so dry and so cracked that one spot at the bottom of my foot had cracked so bad it was like a cut, and it was bleeding a little bit, and it hasn't healed all the way, and it just, I can't get it to stop, to heal, to close and heal and so forth. So I'm keeping antibiotic ointment on there, and but today, oh my God, I hope it's not infected. So I stopped at the camp store because we were at Loft Mountain Campground, which here in the Shenandoah there's a lot of campgrounds for tourists, you know, and day hikers and so forth. It's mostly car camping facility, but we tented there last night so we could resupply in the store and use an actual flushable toilet and so forth. But anyway, I went to the camp store and got some moleskin. Highway robbery. I spent $7 on like 2 little pieces of moleskin. But bugs. So that's on my foot right now, and it feels a lot better. But I just thought I'd share that tidbit with you. It's just another kick in the shin, trying to knock me down. Right now, for the most part, I'm not as impressed with the Shenandoahs as I had hoped to be. It's mostly just the trail with trees, you know, like most of the AT, but I'm not seeing many vistas and, you know, or plants or cool trees or anything. I'm just not seeing what the special deal is. So I don't know. At the gaps, there's some gorgeous views. You know, as the AT crosses over Skyline Drive. But I don't want to have to get to a gap to have a view. But that was a pretty one we just passed. It is 2 o'clock, and Hannah and I have decided to take a proper break so that we can honor our bodies and make sure that we're prepared for the second half of our day. We stopped after, it was like 6 or 7 miles, and we're at a hut, and we're, actually I think, I have to check the mileage, that doesn't matter. We plan to stop here, and we are just hanging out for a good hour and a half. I set up the hammock. I'm lying here. I've got my foot propped up with my ice pack, and I might even take a little nap. Yeah, so we're taking care of ourselves. Here. You know, like 1, yeah, 2, Ooh! Close! Alright! Score! Oh. Let's see. Hold on. It's called a clove hitch. There you go. Girl!
Ah, it kind of ended up low though.
How low? Oh, no, it's all right. That'll be the same as this. Serendipitous. The most serendipitous thing happened as far as choosing our campsite for tonight. So Hannah and I were planning on meeting here at the view of, I don't even know, I'll have to look at what mountain we're on, doesn't matter. And then we were going to go down to, I think it's Powell Gap, and start looking for a campsite. Earlier in the day we had seen Hawkeye, and we told him our plan to stealth camp and said look for us, but he was going to do 24 miles today, so we didn't think we'd see him. But as we were walking, I saw this hammock over there. And then I saw this place open up for a view, and there's Hawkeye. And there's Hannah, and there's Hawkeye, and here's the view.
Yeah.
I'll get back to that momentarily. But then, check this out. So there's his hammock. And he looked for a spot for us and kept his eye open, knowing that we'd be passing by and wanting company. And here's where we set up. Hannah and I with our tents. So we get to watch the sunrise. That's facing east. How amazing is this? We just hung our bear bags. How amazing. Look, first thing in the morning, we'll come over here, blurry-eyed, and have a view. That is east. Amazingness. Can't wait. So I'll see you in the morning.